Hey, friends, this episode of Stickers and Scuffs is brought to you by our friends at Quick Quick. They are the world's best fire starter. And I'll tell you that for a fact that just recently, this past weekend, my buddy called me up and told me that his maples were running like crazy and that his buckets were overflowing and he had to get boiling soon. So we packed a bag for overnight and we went over and our families collected sap and we got a fire going in his boiler stove quick fast with, you guessed it, a quick wick fire starter. And I'll tell you, we had a quick wick fire going fast and we had it burning hot. He had a ton of wood there, but he needed it going soon just because of all the sap we had laying around. So we got right to boiling and we had a long fire into the night and it all started with just one quick wick, friends. So if you need to get a fire going in a survival situation or recreational or a maple syrup situation, the world's best starter is definitely for you. We use it, our friends use it, and you should too. So they are the best fire starter to possibly pick up. They're all Canadian made. They're a 100% Canadian company. So fire them up today. Hey friends, it's Cam K and Graydon Bunn back with another fresh episode of Stickers and Scuffs. Today we have the editor-in-chief of Inside Track Motorsport News and the event coordinator for an upcoming show that we have so dearly missed. And some of you know I am quite conflicted that I'm going to be missing it, but Motorama's back and it's going to be better than ever, I'm sure. Greg MacPherson is with us. Greg, how you been, bud?
Excellent, guys. Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Always. We are glad to have you here, and we're glad to be talking up Motorama, and it's going to be happening, and it's going to feel a little more like, well, I guess it didn't, we had to sit out for a year, but I guess it's going to feel like old times again, right?
Yeah, actually, it'll feel like hopefully 2019 because
Yes.
as we were doing the 2020 show, it was unbelievable. Like the content,
The world was closing in on you, right?
everything was great. But when whatever it was, the Wednesday night before we opened, when the NBA announced they were ending their season, it was just the dominoes started to fall and the walls closed in. Mm-hmm. And a joke in the time since, it's been a very long 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
It definitely has, and it's kind of funny how we go from when your show was going to happen, everything closed, to now your show's coming and everything's opening up again. And it's exciting because we've kind of talked about this, and I think we've kind of realized that this virus, it's not going away. Like this is going to be something that we're going to have to live with. And what's cool about it is that I saw one of your takes on social media about kind of like, listen, you have the option to come to our show. You can wear a mask if you want, and you can choose not to. You have the freedom, but guess what? You can come to a show for like the first time in 2 years. You guys have I think you are the first event, if I'm not mistaken, that the order for like the mass meeting, I think it's the first event right after that announcement. And I mean, you guys have got to be so itching to get going, but like, is there any fear because of what happened so many years ago?
Yeah, who knows? Like we still watch every day. Like people. I don't know. I think it's an industry. I think a lot of people are happy to see things continue. That's just my personal thing.
Yeah.
But things look like they're in great shape. Most people have had 2-3 shots.
Yeah.
A lot of people have had the virus, and now with it being milder and with their shots, have gotten through it. So that's where I'm at. I had it about 3 weeks ago. I had a bad weekend and a sore throat and stayed in bed on a Saturday, and now I'm done with it. So
perfect.
I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat, but no, absolutely. Like you say, we're hugely relieved because right back in the fall when it looked like we were able to do the show, a lot of talk about masking will still be in place, and vaccine passport checking, and just it's hard enough to put a show on and plan and do all this stuff. Like we were talking to like security firms and how many people are we going to need? Like if you've been to the show, like the lineup, like especially like say on a Saturday you're getting in, like people sneak through the whole lobby of the International Center, go out the door and everything. And so it's a long line when things are moving well, and it is pretty
Yes.
quick. But yeah, so just the getting our head around all the things we'd have to do additionally to comply, and we were ready to do it. And then also possibly to keep capacities down if at certain times with spacing, looked like, oh, it's going to be 50%. But then, anyway, the opportunity came up to move our show from our traditional date for this 1 year to, in the hope that, and it seems like it's worked out, to get away from all that stuff. So now fortunately, we're now in the situation where it's nice out. The don't have to wear a mask, but like you say, Cam, please, if you feel comfortable and you want to wear one, go ahead. That's great. Like whatever. But and we don't have to check vax passports again. Like if you want to come, don't come. Like we don't want anyone to feel unsafe, but we're going to present a safe environment, lots of cleaning, and everybody's welcome. And we're excited to get back and gauging the interest where people are at right now. I just mentioned to you guys a little bit, but I guess it's a factor as well of people feeling a lot more comfortable buying things online. But we're at about 10 times ahead a month out of the show in terms of ticket sales where we were leading up to the 2020 show. That wasn't that then that calculation didn't involve COVID. Like this was a month out from March 2020. Yeah. So I think people are a lot more comfortable, but literally it's 10 times the sales. So speaks to a couple of things about how anxious people are to get back to normal, see their old friends. Like the show is amazing in terms of like custom cars, hot rods, the whole racing area, the racing zone in there. But the other part, it's so social. Like we've all come through 2 years where, only 100 people are allowed at a racetrack or no people are allowed and don't talk and you can't go here or there. So it's brewing, starting to look like a big party kind of thing, just where you get to see people, your friends, a lot of them you haven't seen for a couple of years.
Well, the networking aspect of it is huge for the longevity of motorsports too, right? You've got people there that represent brands. This is, I think, what's really important, and I think it gets hidden is that people have been working on cars this entire pandemic.
Yeah.
So now they get a chance to finally show off all the hard work, and I would imagine that you probably have a lot more people interested in presenting a vehicle this year because they have had all this extra time to work on them.
Yeah. So during the pandemic, it was a safe thing to do.
Yeah.
You could go out to your garage and work on your car without breathing or getting breathed on. So or breathing on anybody. So a lot of people did it. It was crazy. I remember talking with some guys who were in manufacturers and parts and during the worst part of the pandemic, and almost sheepishly they were like, this is the best business period we've ever had. like people, it's a safe thing to do. So thank goodness someone did well during that period. But yeah. So and then it's kind of transitioned. So like in the fall we thought we could do the show, but it was sort of still hanging on, or there was another wave there. There was a little bit of tentativeness about people or car owners. Maybe some people are a little older, thinking like, oh, I might not come, or like it's just a little too early. But that has gone away. Like we pretty much shut down vehicle applications for all the cars in the show, like race cars, drags, drag vehicles, custom cars, hot rods, all of that. So pretty much shut down that people. And then right now, I don't know if they're used to it traditionally, but we've got people coming out. We had our meeting here, our team meeting at my place yesterday. And the guy who's in charge of the cars, Gary Chalice, he said, on the weekend, I got approached by 3 guys with 100-point cars. They would all do well in Detroit. They will all be like in the Canadian 10 at our show, and we don't know if we can fit them in. Like it's wild. Yeah,
it's a nice problem to have.
Yeah,
and it is. And if I told you how close we were to not doing the show in the fall when all the other stuff was hanging over, and we're just like, you know what, we can't wait till 2023. Let's do it. And we're just so happy, and so far so good. Everything's shaping up to be really nice, and lots of support, and we can't wait.
And in terms of having to reschedule the show, it's always nice to have it in March when the winter's dragging on and stuff like that. And I will absolutely look forward to it being back, should it go back to that time slot next year. But having it on Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th and Sunday, May 1st, it segues nicely basically into the beginning of the Ontario racing season. So in a way, it's not really a bad thing in terms of the rain date schedule, right?
Yeah, no, it's good. And we didn't have a lot of choice. Like to their credit, the International Center, all the shows were in the same boat as us. They kind of wanted to get out of January, February, March, just because of what was going on. And they were all looking to get back into this sort of window, end of March, April. And it was like putting a Rubik's Cube together or something. I don't know. This big Jenga of shows. So everyone was understanding, helped each other. Like, can we move your move-in date? Can you guys hurry up and get out a little sooner? Just stuff like that. So everyone was great. The only little drawback is we're slightly too close to racing season. Where
it's too close.
Yeah,
that's right.
In one case, Flamborough was just awesome. Like John Caselli we deal with and his team there. They booked a booth. They're like every time, like going back to Performance World and in Motion, like way back, they're always there. And it's usually, and during the show in the normal time, it's John Caselli's birthday. They always gets a cake and the Hooters girls come over and sing to him and wish him happy birthday, make him blush. But so it's their opening day on the Saturday, and he's still got a booth, and they're going to staff it and be there Friday and the Sunday. But I think we've lost a couple of tracks and series just because either it's a practice day and they can't staff it or whatever. So not ideal. We're all doing what we can to get through this year, and the plan is to be back on our traditional date next year.
Nice. I hadn't considered that it would be like too close that it's actually tying people up. Yeah, that does make a ton of sense.
No, it's awesome, but just a touch. Like I think, like say Delaware's, they're doing a practice, and just a little close. Sunset, same thing. They've got their big.
But like you say, everybody's chomping at the bit, so it's going to be the energy is going to be fantastic, I'm sure.
Yeah, and the racing community. So whereas some of the venues couldn't come, the racers, like, amazing support. So one of the things to get into, we do this thing on the Saturday night of the show, Fast Eddie Night of Champions. So I don't know if you guys have read about it or heard about it or taken it in, but it is crazy. Like normally. If you win a class at a weekly short track, there are four champions, say, at the track, and they all get together and their families and stuff, and they have a banquet somewhere, and that's awesome, and it's personal. But this is like that on steroids. So if every person, like kid up to adult, who won a series or track championship in any division, Canadian, at a facility in Canada, is welcome to register and welcome to come, and we'll have a plaque and shirts and prizes and stuff for them on that Saturday night. So, and we've done it going back to our old show, the CME. So I think it's about the 7th or 8th annual, but traditionally it's been, we have drag racing night of champions and short track night of champions, both asphalt and dirt. And they get invited up to the stage and interviewed about their season, just sort of quickly. And who do you want to thank? And, and we usually get like one of our celebrity guests at the show to help out and present. So,
oh man, it's so
years
cool.
past, like people are sitting there, it could be like with Courtney Hanson or, Tom Smith from Misfits or Steve Darnell. They're all so nice and they just participate. And the kids are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm standing here with them. And then it's thousands of families, team members, and fans watching 150 champions get celebrated in one place at one time. So I've never heard about anything like that anywhere in the world. It's really cool and it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Like it's
big time,
especially in Canada. And I mean, I understand that we have our pockets of fan bases, but the reality of the situation is that if you're going to are we going to get more attention for track champions or hockey champions? we kind of always will lose that battle. Like that's the honest truth, right? We're losing that. We lose to basketball. Basketball has become a really big sport in Canada, even the baseball crowd, right? So to have a place where we can celebrate all those champions, because what it also shows is that all their hard work is being recognized, and that's
respected. Yeah,
and respected. That's the biggest thing. Is like, yeah, you guys, you do this because you love it, but we appreciate all that you guys put in and that you guys spent this money to race. Like it is, and that's so as two racing fans to hear that this is being put on. It's such a great idea. So I definitely said that's on the Saturday night.
Yeah, it's April 30th.
April 30th. Yeah. Guys, go out and catch this, because it is. I mean, I feel
it's so amazingly well attended too. Like it is wild. Like we've had people, they could be up in Northern Ontario at a dirt track. People have flown down. We get registrations from Brockville, like,
nice.
And this is
Ontario Motor Speedway. Like it's crazy. Like kids right up to adults to the top series, champions of big series come, and they're all there shoulder to shoulder. It's so cool.
And for these kids, for example, they're starting out running in their midgets or whatever cars they're running in junior cars. And then all of a sudden they go and see a local track champion, or they go and see a celebrity, or they go and see somebody like a DJ Kennington come in there. Obviously this year will be a little different, but if they're going to have racing heroes there, people that they can aspire to be like that. And they're all in one place. I mean, when we've been able to hell, when we talked to one driver last year at Sunset, when I met the first driver at the track, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. Can you imagine like how those little racers are going to feel? And all of a sudden it gives them something to aspire to as well, right? Like this could be the future, right? Yeah. Like this could be it. I could be one of those track champions. I could be the favorite car.
My favorite thing is like, we've got other like real announcers who like run the presentations. So I just sort of hang around and go take pictures and things. And it's just the coolest shot in the world to see like one of the guys interviewing like a little kid, and from behind with the lights and just a sea of people. And it's just like, nothing's like that has ever happened to those kids before.
That's awesome.
It's so
one kind of neat thing. We'll see. I think we're getting a good reaction for it. Not a lot of champions were declared in 2020, but
right.
if anyone did, if someone managed to get a championship or a title in, they're all welcome to attend too. So we've got it where people could sign up to say if they won in 2020 or 2021. It's because of the pandemic, you don't want to see someone get ripped off of the experience. So
that's great. Oh
man, that's awesome. Yeah, that's so
true
cool.
Because they're still champions.
Yeah, oh, yeah, for sure.
No, still retroactive celebration.
Yeah, and you hate to see like, oh yeah, I should have had that experience, but I couldn't because of the pandemic. Like just more salt in the wound. So
yeah,
man, that's so great of you guys.
Yeah,
really,
no, it's nice. Yeah.
What are we talking about in terms of vendors and guests? This celebrity guests that you've got this year. What can people look towards?
So we're still working on a couple things for celebrity guests, but which could be awesome or it won't happen. So you'll hear me screaming if it happens. But our main guy, so he's a car builder. You've probably seen him on TV if you follow the builder shows. But when we were looking to book people for this year, the border was still an issue.
Yeah.
So we're like, we've had chats with like, say, Chip Foose, who was going to come in 2020, had to cancel like days before the show. And I think we're sort of saying like, let's wait again until 2023 because we didn't know what the border would be like, and you want to plan and promote it way out. So tentatively, that's the plan for 2023. But got a great guy and his wife coming from Nova Scotia. So if you've ever watched Bad Chad Customs,
yeah, and Queen Jolene,
and this is Queen Jolene. Anyway, they are so nice and fun and like original, and the stuff he builds is unique. And I know
he's got that maritime accent too.
Yeah, so I lost it. I left. I was born there. I lost it though. I left when I was 9 months old, but so I can't keep up with him. But anyway, just so nice. And I know he's going to be one of those guys who just wants to see every car in the show and go talk to every car owner, and whether it's the racers or the hot rod people. So yeah, they're going to be great. If you're into the YouTube, there are these guys. It's kind of like to me, it seems like the Canadian equivalent of Roadkill. It's DeBoss Garage, and they've got they're coming with some of their crazy stuff. Like one, I'll think of the name. Anyway, it's like a pickup truck mounted on army tank.
Nice.
With the tracks and a couple of their other stuff.
Man.
Like they got like a C10, I guess, truck, and they drop, a monster bulldozer Caterpillar engine in it, and a couple other things. So anyway, so that'll that's right up Graydon's alley. Damn it.
I'm so conflicted, Greg.
I know. Sorry. Yeah, you're
I'm
toys.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you like that stuff. I know you're on it all week, but you like to see the crazy stuff too.
Definitely.
Yeah. So they're coming. We've got another YouTube guy, but he's a builder. It's called Nick's Garage. So coming from Montreal, this gentleman who works a lot of early 70s, Dodge type muscle cars. They're coming it'll be in the racing zone. There's a huge area. I think it's 9 vehicles are going in there. One's going in the McGuire's booth, but just one of them looks like the car out of the Vanishing Point movie. Remember that one? The white Challenger. And
come on, Graydon, come on.
So those are those little tears? Sorry. Anyway, so Nick's Garage, they're coming. So a bunch of he's got friends and former customers where he worked on their cars, and they all have them, but they're all
cool.
Getting them together and coming to Toronto to show them off. So that's cool. And another guy, his name is David Schroeder. So I don't know if you're into drag racing at all, but it's a Canadian guy, I think he's from Mississauga, 2-time winner of Drag Week, which is a really unique competition where it's drag racing, but it's based on, I think, 5 events over 5 days at different drag strips around the Midwest. So, but your drag vehicle, the one that competes, has to be the vehicle that you drive from track to track.
Oh, that's wicked.
And like with a trailer on the back. So,
cool. Man,
David with 2 different Corvettes has won this competition twice. And he'll compete with guys like Tom Bailey, who's been to our show, Jeff Lutz from Street Outlaws, done Drag Week, and so he's coming with two of his Corvettes, one that he won a couple years ago, and then one just this past fall, 2 different Corvettes and the trailer that he's won Drag Week from, and I think 3 times now he's been on the cover of Hot Rod magazine with his cars.
That's impressive that he's
cool.
done it not only once, but like with a different car again. Like this guy knows obviously how to pack a punch.
and he's a racing guy too, because it was really funny. Like I ran into him last summer at Sunset Speedway during the Pinty Series race. He was up in the turn 3-4 restaurant hospitality area beer garden, and he was there to take in the NASCAR stock car race. So he's a cool guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's so much that I personally would love to see you guys get the boys from Rust Valley Restorers. They're a hoot. I love those guys.
Absolutely, and it's totally in play.
Oh, really? Eh?
Well, not for this year, but we've talked.
No,
but
perfect.
They're really close. They're good friends with a guy who appears on that show, JF Launier, who's won the Riddler Award, and he won the Grand Champion Award at our show 2 years ago.
Okay.
He brought, right? So JF's been there. He's friends with those guys. We would love to have them. And I think it was just the distance this year and some of the passport things going on. And but we definitely would love to have them.
Oh, it's so.
At some point. Oh, I laugh at those guys. They're just funny.
They're so funny.
When Matt Avery gets cackling, it's like
that's exactly it. And I go, it's funny because we go all the time, and I go like, I live in a condo, but man, what I would I give to have a car graveyard like they got there, eh? Just to go walk out and be like, oh man, I'm gonna use this car, but maybe not for like 5 years, but I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm not gonna sell.
Got a good deal on that.
I got a good deal on it. Yeah.
It sounds like he had to air them out, but it was almost like the family was gonna put him into like withdrawal treatment or something. Like
Yeah.
he built something, he'd be like, oh yeah, it's so nice, I can't sell it. And then they'd come back and they'd be like, you're supposed to have less cars. You just bought 2 more. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
Always funny. So they would absolutely be welcome if they could make it to our show at some point.
This is great. I mean, it's a a show that we're gonna have some racing, some content there. Obviously, we're gonna see what type of racing content will we have at the show there, Greg.
So when you come into the show, the first hall is hall 1. We call it the Grand Hall. So down the middle is sort of like the 28 insane custom first time shown builds where I don't know, they amazing gentlemen, build these things, and the price doesn't seem to be an issue. So it's quite a treat to see those. Once you leave that area, it's hall 1B, they call it. It's and we call it the racing zone. So almost all of the content in there is racing zone. So whether it's vendors, equipment people, suppliers, tracks, series, and displays, groupings of cars, and also the racers corral. So excuse me. So racers will come in with their cars, whether like say Peterborough Speedway will come with have its booth and they'll get to bring 2 of their cars, or the APC series is going to have a couple of cars there, or OSS series, Ontario Sportsman Series, going to have I think three of its cars there. But as an individual racer, if you want to get some exposure for your car, you've got it all ready for the season and nicely lettered up and everything. So a lot of those guys apply as individuals to bring and show off their cars. So, and this year the whole spectrum. So got a bunch of road racing cars and series, stock cars as always, amazing support, and a bunch of incredible drag cars coming as well.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we'll put people on the stage as well for different disciplines to have chats. So there'll be like panels for stock cars or, drag racing or road racing, and whether it's promoters or racers, just sort of like a full session on the stage to chat about current issues and get ready for the year.
It's like Comic-Con, but for auto racing and for motorsports fans. I love it. It's genius. And Greg, I think we're gonna have some fun. I think so. I think Graydon's gonna be missing out. He's gonna be.
And once you get a feel for it this year, you'll see it. So another thing we're gonna do in the racing room this year is we've got a stage in there. It's not huge, but just enough for like a couple seats and a table and some microphones and stuff. And want to have it busy with podcasters and radio guys. So just come. It's your stage. You got it for an hour. Invite some guests, line some people up, and chat, and just sort of do your thing on the stage in the racing room. And so Cam's going to take it in this year to see what it's all about, and then the two of you are booked for next year.
Yeah, I am absolutely not missing. I was going to bring my dad. I think it was 2018 when I brought him for his birthday present, the one, and then we were traveling in 19, and then it all went off the rails after that. But we were going to come back this year, and then all this turn of events has happened. So I'm locked in for 2023, Greg.
Okay. I think I was scouting it out. I think it looks like March 10, 11, 12 next year. If
nice.
Everything
Dad's birthday is March 8th, so it's like there. So like it's right on his birthday, basically. So he has a great time. We brought him for our little 22 racing shop tour that we're promoting right now. That he was just like a kid in a candy store. He just went and bugged Scott's guys and stuck his head in there with them. And
nice.
Before we let you go, Greg, as a longtime Inside Track subscriber, you got some great promos. Talk about Inside Track a little bit too, please.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. So the Inside Track's our magazine we've done since 1997. It's like crazy to think about those numbers, but we've been doing it since then. And just a labor of love. It's like you guys, what you embrace. It's Canadian racing, right from the smallest short track or drag strip or road course. The entry level people to the tops in the sport. So just finished a magazine issue, and I'd had a 3 page interview in there, exclusive interview with Jacques Villeneuve. talking
Perfect.
about his the fun he had at Daytona. So
Cool.
and then the adventures. So a lot of the car stuff, but a lot of the other stuff too about just his experience interacting with the community, what his reception was like, camping with his 1 month old baby. It was like crazy young.
That's got to be fun.
He was laughing. He goes, no pressure on the kid. His name's Jill.
Yeah.
So because he started racing yet.
Yeah.
But no, so it sounded like stories of him growing up, where it's the family in the motorhome, and that's where you are. That's where you grow up. So
Yeah.
anyway, and I think it's looking like he might show up in a ride Pinty Series at Trois-Rivières.
Whew, man,
boy.
I saw Cam's eyes bug out.
Oh, well, we were thinking about next year for Trois-Rivières, but I don't know.
I think
Graham.
no.
Oh man,
I would not. Anyway, we'll see. I would not be surprised.
Man,
he loves the NASCAR stuff. He loves to do more drafting. Like he felt very comfortable in the draft. Because the way he put it, like the first line on the original restart, and he learned his first lapping in that car, in drafting in that car, was after the green flag went for the Daytona 500. Like they had an engine go and a throttle cable issue that took him out of the duels, took him out of practice. And so it was like, here's the green flag for the Daytona 500. Start drafting with these guys in that new next gen car. So
ultimate trial by fire.
Yeah, but he was right in the middle of it, dodged the big one, and had fun. He's like, I'll probably get some opportunities to race. He loves Road America, but I think he'd love to do some more oval stuff and drafting. He just had a blast.
Well, it's one of those things. Like, obviously, we could talk for hours and hours and hours, Greg, about the Pinty Series and talking about racing, but Motorama is coming really soon. That's why we wanted to get you on the show. And first off, a ticket's still available. I know it's going to be, we've got a lot of tickets sold already. And kind of let's talk about the 3 days. Is it the same stuff all 3 days, or can people come in and there's going to be special activities on specific days?
Yeah. So if you're interested in tickets, you can purchase them. There are links right at the top of the page at motoramashow.com. So check that out. That's where we put all the news too, as well as on our social media feeds. But motoramashow.com is your place to get tickets. I guess, the show does have like a different feel on some of the days. The Friday, and we're getting a good reaction again this year that they're coming back, what we called Students' Day.
Oh, so cool.
A lot of like the teachers and the students, I don't think they find out about it, and we get emails from all over the province where a teacher will say, myself and a chaperone, we're coming. We got 2 buses with 80 kids, and
wow.
So they'll come, and I guess a lot of time they'll be like involved in a shop class or something, or automotive, and so this is a chance for them. Kind of, it's fun and get to see amazing cars, but they might work a learning thing into it. We'll put some stuff on the stage during that time too, whether it's racers who got an engineering degree, or someone from a college that's got a STEM program, to talk about math or science. It might not seem fun out of the textbook, but look what you get to do. You get to work on race cars or build stuff. So we try and do that. That's on the Friday. One of the rooms that we have at the show, it's called Mayhem, and it's sort of a classic rockabilly feel. So throughout the show, you can go and get like barbers, tattoo artists. There's a pinup contest there on the Saturday. Classic old cars.
Yeah,
they're there. And I think on the Friday night in there we've got some bands. So that'll almost be like we have like a car owners cocktail party. So traditionally we do it in a private part of the International Center, but just with spacing and COVID and stuff, we're like, maybe we won't have that this year. But so in lieu of that, I think we're gonna have that band area in front of the stage in the Rockabilly room. So that'll be on the Friday night. Saturday,
super cool.
If things go to plan, Saturday's like kind of a madhouse, like very, very busy. Just all the booths are active. Everyone's excited to see the stuff, and kind of, it can get busy. But and then the awards ceremonies start in the afternoon because so much, but on the stage. So road racing night of champions, drag racing, and then short track night of champions go until close on the stage. Prior to that, on the Saturday, we've got the car show awards, and those are broken up into 2 days as well. So it's sort of the regular car show awards on the Saturday, and then that takes place on the Sunday again, the special awards. So that's about another hour of presentations for that, culminating in one of the cars that's identified on the Saturday as the Lincoln Electric Canadian 10 car. So a big banner goes up beside each of the 10 cars that the judges determine are the best 10 in competition at the show. And on the Sunday, at the end of the day on the stage, all the car owners are in attendance, and we all get to find out who the Motorama Grand Champion is.
Before we wrap it up, we got to know the when does the end, because you guys got an extended time this year for Sunday. So when is the last, when do you guys close on Sunday?
We got a lucky break. We're originally, part of our deal was we were going to have to close at 4:00 because the other show was coming in. And at some point within the last week, they said, don't worry about it. So got a full day in on the Sunday. We go to 5:00 and then tear down and start thinking about the racing season and next year's show.
Well, Greg, MacPherson,
yeah.
Holy moly.
I sufficiently hate myself for missing this year's show, but I know you guys are going to have a great time, and
well, yes,
do it up big for me.
I've got to ask Greg if you know of any 70s Chevelles, because my dad is supposed to be the cameraman, and if there's a good one, I might lose him to it. So I need to know whether I need to put him on a leash or not.
I can do it.
I think you will.
That sounds like a safe bet. That in the 69 Camaro.
Cameraman Al's going to wander off. You can.
That's.
We'll do a tour. So it's kind of funny. That's the joke. I'm in the show office a lot of times, or just running around. So yeah, usually about 3:30 on the Sunday, I'm like, okay, I got to go see this thing. Like it took so long to build it, and it's so incredible. And I've seen pictures of these cars, but I've got an hour and a half before it gets torn down, and I got to go see it. So
I'm glad you actually mentioned that. I did have that written down. That do you actually get a chance to experience it in all its glory before it's all gone?
And by that point, though, I'm working on no sleep. So
yeah,
a lot of times it's in the pictures afterwards. Like we got great photographers, and they come and they're like, take the stuff, and I'm just like, oh my, wow, that was there. Like that's incredible.
You're busy slamming coffees and Red Bulls and keeping stuff.
Whatever. Yeah, it's a nasty adrenaline crash or whatever on the Monday.
Oh man, we hope it turns out great for you, Greg.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. It's great to be on with you, and I love watching your success and your smiling faces when you talk about racing. It's great.
Nothing that makes us happier, Greg. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast, buddy. And I will see you at Motorama.
All right.
Great. And I'll see you at the racetrack, Greg. Yeah, you bet.
All right.